we present The Yellow Plush Papers by William Makepeace Thackeray. It was adapted for radio by Stephen Wyatt and stars Adam Buxton as Charles Yellowplush. Directed by Jessica Drumgoole.
The Memoirs of Charles James Yellowplush, sometime footman in many genteel families. Chapter 1. My first employer. Well, pour commencer, as they say, my life was not always amongst the gilded splendour of the aristocratic world. My origins may be described as humble. Some with unkind minds might describe them as sordid. My mamma called me Charles James Harrington Fitzroy Yellowplush. This was in compliment to several noble families, and to a celebrated coachman whom she knew, who wore a yellow livery and drove the Lord Mayor of London.
It is good gin I'm swigging, and I don't need you spoiling it for me!
Why she gave me this gentleman's name is a difficulty, or rather, why she gave me the name of a part of his dress, namely his yellow plush coat. But call it fate, or just good luck, it meant that I was destined to be a footman from birth. I sometimes wondered if this gentleman who drove the Lord Mayor of London's coach was my father. But when I grew older and asked my mother, she was not illuminating upon the subject.
Let's say your birth is a mystery. Maybe you had a father, maybe you didn't. Maybe you was changed at birth, maybe you wasn't. But as far as them that lives here knows, you're my nephew, and I'm Miss Montmorency. Got that?
We led a strange life. Sometimes Ma was dressed in satin and rouge, and sometimes in rags and dirt. Sometimes I got kisses, and sometimes kicks. Sometimes gin, and sometimes champagne. Sometimes she used to swear at me.
Don't you dare talk to me like that, or there'll be hell to pay! Charles James Harrington Fitzroy Yellowplush!
And sometimes cuddle me.
Who's my boy? Who's my one and only Charles James Harrington Fitzroy Yellowplush?
So we were either sober or tipsy, starving or guzzling, just as Ma got money and spent it. But all in all, the dear old creature was very good to me. My poor mother died one evening, heaven bless her. She was dead drunk at the time, so at least she died happy. So I was left alone in this wide, wicked world, without so much money as would buy me a penny roll for me breakfast. But there was some amongst our neighbours who took pity on old Sal's orphan, though they burst out laughing when I called her Miss Montmorency. And when I tried to insist that I was her nephew, their mirth knew no bounds. But I was lucky. A benevolent gentleman took pity on me and put me to school. I then became a boot boy in a country villa in Pentonville, where my luxurious bedchamber was under the sink. From this fate, I was saved by an elegant gentleman called Mr. Frederick Altamont. He wanted someone to be his tiger, a smartly liveried lad to act as groom and footman.
Well, your master certainly gives you a good character.
Thank you, sir.
And you seem a neat, tidy-looking young man.
I try to be, sir.
You're not scared of riding in a coach?
No, sir.
Nor afraid of cleaning boots and making breakfasts?
No, sir.
Nor of running errands and delivering messages?
No, sir.
Well, I'm minded to take a chance on you, Charles James Harrington Yellowplush.
Charles James Harrington Fitzroy Yellowplush, sir.
Excellent. I like a lad with self-respect.
My new master's vehicle was a light two-wheeled Tilbury, perfect for a gentleman and his manservant. Very proud I was, in a gold-laced hat, a drab coat and a red waistcoat, to sit by his side of an evening when we drove. I began to ogle the girls in the carriages and to acquire that taste for fashionable life which I've had ever since. But for all his good manners, there was something a bit mysterious about Mr. Altamont. His business was something in the city, for he went out every morning at 10 and got out at the City Road.
Well, here we are.
Very good, sir. Shall I come back with the Tilbury to fetch you, sir?
Certainly not.
But it looks like rain, sir.
I tell you no, Charles.
Sir,
What now?
people keep on inquiring of me what you do for a living, and...
And what?
Well, I'd like to be able to give them an answer, sir.
Now, listen, Charles, this is for the first and last time. What I do for a living is my business and not yours.
If you lift so much as a finger to try and find out more, I'll dismiss you on the spot. Understood?
Yes, sir.
The only matter of concern to you is whether I can pay your wages, and I can. So, let's have no more of this nonsense.
And indeed, what he said was true. I was always given my wages and his bills were always paid. Unlike many more aristocratic gentlemen I worked for later on. There was never a hint of any financial embarrassment with Mr. Altamont. And this being my first job, and a good one, I decided to keep my nose out of trouble and inquire no further. But there was another mystery. Why, since he did not lack for means, did Mr. Altamont choose to live in such a hole as the ground floor in John Street? There was nothing but a parlour and a bedroom, both cramped and squalid. I had to sleep over the way in a room no bigger than a cupboard. He could easily have afforded better. But here at least I soon found the solution. The answer was, as the foreign gentleman said, cherchez la femme. And here I'll leave you in suspense a little while to make what literary gentlemen call a slight digression in order to tell you something about Mr. and Mrs. Shum, the couple who owned this undesirable property, and their family. Mr. Shum had been an officer. He was red-nosed, knock-kneed, bald-headed, and his nose and shirt frill were always brown with snuff.
Oh, yes, Mr. Yellow Plush. I've served His Majesty and seen service in many a foreign part. I was a sub-deputy assistant vice-commissary in the Royal Purples. It's a very responsible position. Of course, in good time I received an honourable discharge on account of my nerves.
Though, according to them what know, he was such a coward that he was considered dangerous to the army and sent home. But he was an amiable enough old cove, apart from his nerves. He'd been left a widower with a little daughter of 3 and might have lived a very pleasant life if he had not had the ill fortune to meet the widow Buckmaster and be bullied into marriage by her. Mrs. Shum was a fat, red-haired woman, at least a foot taller than Shum. She was such a fine lady that she did nothing but lay on the drawing-room sofa, read novels, drink, scold, scream and go into hysterics.
Oh, the sad life I lead, Mr. Yellow Plush. And these cramped and wretched surroundings. What a falling off it's been. My father was a slamco, one of the slamcos of Bristol. You've no doubt heard of them. Oh, they're one of the most distinguished families in the tallow-chandlering business in the whole of the West Country, with an ancestry stretching back over centuries. I had a dowry of £1,000 when I married my first, Mr. Buckmaster. Oh, a most distinguished man too. True gentleman, with lovely table manners. Oh, the suggestion that he married me for my money is quite unfounded. But, alas, on his death, I was left with a rather narrow income and 4 daughters to provide for, which has led me to the sorry state in our say. If you could be so good as to pass me my book, Mr. Yellow Plush, it's my only consolation.
So all in all, not counting servants, there were 7 of them. Mr. and Mrs. Shum, Miss Shum, and the 4 Mrs. Buckmasters, Miss Betsy, Miss Dosey, Miss Biddy and Miss Winnie, who were all, by the by, as ugly as sin. From morning till night, an infernal piano was jingling as the Mrs. Buckmasters played The Battle of Prague, one after the other, without any of them ever getting any better. With barely enough room to breathe, the house was a veritable pandemonium of piano playing, screaming, shouting, wailing and quarrelling. Now I can reveal to you why such an elegant gentleman as my master, Mr. Frederick Altamont, chose to live there. I might remark that I think I have returned to my main narrative with a flourish of which the most distingué author might be proud.
Good morning, Miss Shum.
Good morning, Mr. Altamont.
I hope you are well.
I'm very well, thank you. I should go.
I asked you.
Yes.
The fact was that Mr. Altamont adored Miss Shum, and certainly he did not show bad taste, as Miss Mary was a pretty little pink modest creature with tender blue eyes, while her half-sisters were, as I remarked before, every bit as hideous as their ma. And they treated her as bad, particularly the eldest, Miss Betsy, and her ma.
Mary! Mary! Come down to the public house for the beer! Mary! There's washing to be done! Mary!
Only her father was kind to her, and he, poor old muff, his kindness was of no use because nobody ever took any notice of him. Now, Miss Betsy Buckmaster, the eldest, was not unsusceptible to the charming and good-looking lodger, and he was clever enough to indulge her.
Oh. Charming, Miss Buckmaster, charming.
Oh, well, perhaps you would like to hear Meet Me by Moonlight?
No, I am sated with delight.
I fancy we are a very musical family, Mr. Altamont.
Indeed, the house is always full of melody.
Oh, except, of course, for poor Mary here, who has no talent for the vocal or instrumental arts.
Is that true, Miss Shum?
All too true, I'm afraid.
In that way, Mary is very much a shum rather than a buckmaster.
I own it's true.
Music hath charms to soothe the savage breast. Don't you find, Mr. Altamont?
On occasions, certainly.
Oh, well, just one more piece.
Pray, don't put yourself to any trouble.
No, I insist. This song is called Calm Be Thy Sleep. Calm be thy sleep, as if...
You may wonder why Miss Buckmaster always let Mary be there. Well, obviously a refined young lady like Miss Betsy couldn't possibly be alone with a man, however much a gentleman. Her sisters were so jealous she thought Miss Mary a safer choice, and I do believe, since Miss Mary was 3 years younger, that she thought of her as no more than a little girl, which, as events will prove, was what might be termed a miscalculation. One day, when Master was in the city, I found Miss Mary sobbing and miserable at the bottom of the stairs.
Excuse me, miss. Is anything the matter?
Oh, they were all being horrid to Papa and told him to mind his business and stop being such an old fool. And I tried to stand up for him. And Mrs. Shum had hysterics and boxed my ears and screeched till she was exhausted and had to call for more gin.
Oh, there, Miss Mary. If I may make so bold, here is Master's room empty, and I know where the cold beef and pickles is.
Oh, Charles, you're very kind. But I'm too wretched to have any appetite.
Well, step in anyway. Better now?
Yes, thank you.
Somehow, I took hold of Miss Mary's hand, and being already a connoisseur of the fair sex, I do believe I would have kissed her, only...
What's this?
It's Miss Mary, sir.
I can see that. Get out!
I felt something, I think it was the tip of his toe, touching me behind, and found myself next minute sprawling among the wet washing and buckets and things. But I did risk the opportunity to listen at the door.
Dearest Mary, they'll come looking for you. We have so little time. Do you love me?
Oh, yes. But I have to ask, why this mystery about yourself? Why hide from your little Mary, your birth and your profession?
Mary, if you love me, ask no more. Promise me, my love, never to raise the subject again.
Oh, I promise, but...
Just then, the family realised Mr. Altamont was home and came a-looking for Miss Mary, so that was that. But afterwards, to console her, Mr. Altamont offered to take her to Astley's Amphitheatre, where might be viewed simultaneously heart-rending dramas and equestrian spectacles, both actors and horses being of the highest quality. Of course, he had to invite Miss Betsy too, but he had a plan afoot.
Charles, a word.
Yes, sir.
Tell me, frankly, are you up to snuff?
I'm sorry, sir.
Are you a downy bird?
Well, I'm generally considered tolerably downy, sir. And no flies on me.
Well, there's half a sovereign for you if you can manage this business for me.
I'm happy to serve you in any way, sir.
The fact is, I've bought the tickets for this particular night because it's raining. So, listen carefully. When the theatre is over, you must be waiting with 2 umbrellas. Give me one and hold the other over Miss Betsy. And remember, when you leave the theatre, turn to the right and say the coach is ordered to stand a little way up the street in order to get rid of the crowd. Have you got that?
Every last detail, sir.
Don't let me down, Charles.
Half a sovereign, you said, sir?
On my honour.
Compared with the trickery, cheats and downright dishonesty I had to deal with later in my distinguished career, this was but a trifle. But at the time I was a tender young lad, and this seemed to me a great responsibility. It rained cats and dogs, sure enough. When the play was over, I was at the door with umbrellas. My master emerged with Miss Mary on his arm and Miss Betsy following behind, rather sulky.
Here's Charles.
Here's an umbrella for you, sir.
Thank you, my faithful Charles.
Mr. Altamont.
Are you sufficiently dry, Miss Mary?
Mr. Altamont, I feel most secure, but Miss Betsy...
Oh, don't worry. Charles has an umbrella to protect her too, haven't you, Charles?
Indeed, sir. And the cloak, too. I threw a big cloak over Miss Betsy, fit to smother her. By the time the cloak was settled, Mr. A and Miss Mary had skipped on and were out of sight, you may be sure.
Where are they? Where have they gone?
They've only gone to the coach, miss. It's a little way up the street, away from the crowd of carriages.
Oh, well, let's follow them.
Yes. No, miss. This way. Right, not left.
Oh, I don't understand it. There's no sign of the coach or either of them. What are we going to do?
I'm so sorry, ma'am. My master will never forgive me. I haven't a single sixpence to pay a coach.
Well, neither have I. Mr. Altamont had arranged everything. What are we going to do?
There's only one thing we can do, ma'am. Walk.
Oh.
So, in the midst of rain worthy of the occasion of the building of Noah's Ark, we had to walk 4 miles from Westminster Bridge to Pentonville. And what was worse, I didn't happen to know the way. At about 2:30 in the morning, we got safely home.
Oh, Betsy, we've been so worried.
Oh, I'm so tired and so wet and so miserable.
Oh, Betsy, I'm so sorry.
Charles, what is the meaning of this?
I'm very sorry, sir.
Sorry is not enough.
You told me to turn right,
You've
sir.
dunderhead. I told you to turn left. We waited for half an hour in the coach to the left of the theatre.
I'm sorry, sir. I was sure you said it was right.
I said left. We drove up and down looking for you in the greatest fright possible, and at last decided to come home because we decided it was vain to wait any more. When I think of the dreadful experience you have exposed poor Miss Buckmaster to, I am tempted to discharge you here and now. You are not worthy of trust.
My master's acting of anger was very impressive. You would have thought he meant it. Today, I know that most masters spend most of their lives lying about something or other and pretending it's the fault of the servants, but at the time, this was a revelation.
Oh, Betsy, do you feel unwell?
Miss Betsy was given hot rum and water and roast oysters for supper, which consoled her a little. I got my half-sovereign after many reminders. Masters are like that, quick to promise and slow to pay. But he was now ready to move on to the next stage in his campaign, namely a proposal of marriage. We are moving towards the truly remarkable part of my history. You will note that I am aiming at what we modern authors call suspense.
I cannot believe my ears! You dare to ask for her hand? Oh, tell me, sir, did you come into my family to corrupt my daughters and to destroy the innocence of that infamous girl?
But my own, he's only asking to marry her.
Don't meddle, Shum! So tell me, Mr. Altamont, did you come here as a seducer or only as a lodger? Speak, sir!
I came here because I loved your daughter, or rather, Mr. Shum's daughter.
Well, that's true enough, and...
Silence, Shum!
I never would have condescended to live in such a beggarly hole. I have treated her in every respect like a gentleman, and she is as innocent now, ma'am, as she was when she was born.
It's true, Father.
Of course,
Shum, enough!
If Mary will marry me, I am ready. If she'll leave you, she shall have a home where she shall be neither bullied nor starved. No angry frumps of sisters.
Oh!
No cross stepmother. Only an affectionate husband and a quiet home.
Dear Frederick, I will always be yours.
Oh, go on, marry this monster, Mary, if your pa thinks proper.
well, I am minded to say...
Who cares what you're minded to say, Shum? Am I to be insulted in my own house by a man who won't even reveal his occupation? Are my feelings and that's of my angelic Betsy to be trampled on, or don't you care?
Enough! Will you be quiet?
Ow!
Mr. Shum, I love your daughter. I will take her without a penny and can afford to keep her. If you don't give her to me, she'll come of her own will, won't you, my love?
Of course, dear Frederick.
Is that enough? May I have her?
Yes.
You see, old Shum was not very sorry to get a husband for his daughter. He loved her more than all the rest put together, and he knew how she was treated in this house. So for once in his life, he spoke up. If ever a couple in the middling class began life with a chance of happiness, it was Mr. and Mrs. Frederick Altamont. Their house at Cannon Row, Islington, was as comfortable as a house could be, with 3 domestics, including myself. My life wasn't so easy as in Mr. A's bachelor days, but what then? The 3 W's is my maxim: plenty of work, plenty of victuals, and plenty of wages. For the first 6 months, all was well. Then Mrs. Altamont became gloomy, and then she got gloomier and gloomier. There was a worm a-gnawing away in the bud, as the immortal bard would have it. In 3 months more, a baby came, and with it old Mrs. Shum, who stuck to Mrs. A's side now as close as a vampire, and with her came Miss Betsy. Mrs. Shum made my mistress wretcheder and wretcheder, because she guessed what it was that poor Mrs. A was fretting about.
Oh, poor dear innocent. You're the child of an unknown father and a miserable mother.
Oh, don't speak ill of Frederick, Mamma. He's all kindness.
All kindness indeed. And he gives you a fine house and fine gowns. But where does all this money come from? Who is he? What is he?
Ma, please.
Who knows that he mayn't be a murderer or a housebreaker or an issuer of forged notes, eh?
Betsy, please.
Well, how can he make his money honestly when he won't say where he gets it? Why does he leave you 8 hours every blessed day and he won't say where he goes to?
Well, perhaps he's a shop boy and he doesn't like me to know that he's not a gentleman.
A shop boy? Or more likely, a wretched villain of a murderer, stabbing and robbing all day and feeding you with the fruits of his ill-gotten gains.
Well, he can't be a robber. He's too good, too kind for that. Besides, murdering's done at night. Frederick's always home before 8.
But he could be a forger, a wicked, wicked forger.
No, I won't believe it.
I have it.
Tell us, Ma.
I see it all now. The villain, the sneaking, double-faced Judas, is married to someone else. That's why he leaves you. He's a bigamist. A base bigamist.
Good evening, Charles.
Good evening, sir.
What on earth's happening?
Mrs. Shum is here, sir.
That's all I need to know. What is this infernal screeching and crying about?
Oh, Mr. Altamont, you know too well. It's all your fault.
What are you talking about?
Oh, dare you ask? Because you are a false, cowardly traitor, sir. Because you have a wife elsewhere. Don't try to deny it.
Get up, you lazy, trolloping, mischief-making, lying old fool. Get up and get out of this house. You have been the curse and bane of my happiness since you entered it.
How dare you! Betsy, it appears we are not wanted. It seems so, Mum.
Go, Charles. See those ladies to the door and never let them pass it again.
Very good, sir.
But alas, peace still did not reside in the household. Mrs. A tempted by the demons of jealousy and curiosity, and Mr. A in the mopes because she wouldn't leave it be. So she wept and he drank and the baby bawled its lungs out. And of course I had my ideas about my master, but kept them to myself. A job is a job after all. And then a singular accident brought to light all the goings-on of Mr. Altamont. Mr. Shum still came to visit, and he and the master were making merry. Master was mixing his 5th tumbler of punch, and little Shum his 12th.
You know, I saw you twice in the city today, Mr. Shum.
Well, that's curious. I was in the city today. Today's the day when the dividends, God bless 'em, is paid, and me and Mrs. S went to collect our half-year's income. But we only got out of the coach, crossed the street to the bank, took our money, and got in again. How could you see me twice?
I was just passing as you went in and out.
But twice? How twice?
That's not important. Let's talk about something else.
But Frederick, my dear, and Pa does have a point. How could you see him twice? Where were you, my dear, when you saw Pa?
It doesn't matter. I was just making polite conversation.
Well, what were you doing, my love? To see Pa twice?
Are we going to enjoy supper or not?
But I don't understand it.
Come along, Mr. Shum. We better get you home. Master's orders.
But listen, how the devil could he have seen me twice?
One of life's mysteries, Mr. Shum. Come on, we're nearly home.
Oh.
Next morning, when the master left, the missus left only a few minutes later, and me with her. I had a horrid suspicion of what was coming. She was closeted with her ma, and then she and her ma drove straight to the city. They walked before the bank, and behind the bank, and round the bank. I walked behind, doing the genteel thing with a nosegay and a gold stick. I still hope to prevent impending disaster.
He must be here somewhere.
But where, Ma? We walked round and there's no sight of him.
He saw Shum twice, remember?
It would appear he isn't here, Mum.
I think you're right, Charles. I'm tired, Ma. Let's try some other time.
Just a moment. Over there.
This way, Mum.
Look, it's him.
I think you're mistaken, Mum. Shall we...
Catch me up once. Mary, look over there. What do you see? Frederick!
Mary!
Oh!
The truth was out. Mr. Altamont was the man who swept the crossing from the bank to Cornhill. He had many distinguished clients among the financial institutions there, and they paid him well, but still, he was a crossing sweeper. No wonder his wife fainted away when she realised.
Mary! Mary, speak to me!
You deceiving monster!
Mary!
I'm sorry, sir. I tried to...
I warned you, Charles. If ever you attempted to find out about what I do for a living, I'd dismiss you on the spot.
Yeah, but, sir, I didn't. It wasn't me.
Don't lie to me, Charles. Just go.
But, sir...
Go! Mary. Dear Mary.
Frederick.
Oh, forgive me. Please.
Well, she did forgive him, much to Mrs. Shum's disgust, and mine, as I was an innocent party unjustly dismissed. Subsequently, Mr. Altamont sold up his position and his property, and he and his wife moved abroad. Very respected, I believe, in Baden-Baden. Now, I have nothing against crossing sweepers, even ones who treat their servants unjustly. They earn their money with honest toil, and I've heard the tips are good. But I knew deep down that I was born for higher things. And I was right. The career of Charles James Harrington Fitzroy Yellowplush was only just beginning.
The Yellowplush Papers by William Makepeace Thackeray was adapted for radio by Stephen Wyatt. Charles Yellowplush was played by Adam Buxton. Altamont was Joseph Kloska, and Mrs. Shum was Liza Sadovy. Shum was Paul Ryder, Mary Manjit Mann, Betsy Jill Cardo, and Charles's mother, Janice Aqua. The director was Jessica Drumgoole.
The Memoirs of Charles James Yellowplush, sometime footman in many genteel families. Chapter 2. Captain Rook. I was now in the prime of early manhood, with a fine, tall, elegant figure and the shapely calves so valuable in a manservant and so much admired by the ladies.
Good morning, Becky.
Good morning, Mr. Charles.
If I may be allowed to say so, Becky, you are making a remarkably fine job of scrubbing those steps.
You're very kind, sir.
Not at all, Becky. Your labours deserve it. Seems a pity to have to tread upon such white steps. But needs must. A bientôt, as they say. See you later.
Goodbye, Mr. Charles.
My first master, Mr. Altamont, had turned out to be nothing more than a humble crossing sweeper. But in keeping with my burgeoning talent, fate had decided that my second master, Captain Rook, should be altogether a different kettle of poissons. He had, after all, a distinguished military history.
You know, the Duke of Wellington often asked for my advice on the finer points of military strategy. On the eve of Waterloo, he summoned me to his tent and he looked me in the face and said, "Rook, take a look at the battle plan and tell me what you think."
What did he say?
And I took one look and said, "Your Grace, don't put the Scots Greys on the left flank, put them on the right. And he took another look and said, damn it, Rookie, you're right again. Changed the whole course of the battle, of course. Though it was still a close-run thing. God bless the Iron Duke!
Captain Rook also moved in the highest society, as he liked to tell his assembled drinking companions.
Last night I had the pleasure of dining with the Duke of Doncaster, and let me tell you, there isn't a finer gentleman in the whole of London. Why, he knocked back 10 bottles of champagne on his own account, and then threw the bottles out of the window. And when some lowlife came in to complain they'd been hit on the head, he set his dogs on them. And believe me, they are the finest pack of hounds you'll ever see. God bless his grace, the Duke of Doncaster!
Captain Rook was by far the most socially distingué master I had yet encountered. He was also a lying, cheating, despicable rogue, as you will soon discover. Captain Rook resided in Pump Court, Temple. You may not be acquainted with it. Suffice to say, it's in the confines of the city and the chosen abode of lawyers of this metropolis. It may perhaps appear curious that such a fashionable man should live in the Temple, but it must be recollected that many bachelors who have nothing to do with the law have here their lodgings, as well as many sham barristers who never put on a wig and gown twice in their lives. It takes all sorts of rogues to make up the world, and I'm not convinced that the unlegal gentlemen were more dishonest grasping rogues than the authentic article.
Good morning, Becky.
Good morning, Master Charles.
You're looking very pretty today, Becky. And your steps are, as always, immaculate. It's a pleasure to step on them.
Thank you, Master Charles.
Yes?
I'm glad you like stepping on them.
In the basement lived a caretaker who left almost all his duties and obligations to his domestic, the charming Miss Becky. On the ground floor were Screwson, Hewson and Jewson, attorneys. On the first floor, Mr. Sergeant Flabber. On the second floor was Mr. Haggerstony, an Irish barrister practising at the Old Bailey, and still not very good at it, pardon my linguistic jeu d'esprit. Opposite him was Mr. Richard Blewett, of whom more, much more, anon. And then on the third floor was my master, and opposite him a new arrival, one Mr. Dawkins, of whom also more anon. Whew. As I write these memoirs, I'm discovering the problems of which literary gentlemen complain, namely that of exposition. But I still have one more character to introduce.
Morning, Charles.
Morning, James.
There is a general rule that male servants are known either as Charles or James. I am Charles James. My colleague, Mr. Blewett's manservant, was called James Charles. Although the captain regarded Mr. Blewett as a cut below him, and as a result our masters rarely spoke, we often conversed. Servants are more democratic that way.
So the captain's dining out this evening, Charles?
He is indeed, James. And Mr. Blewett?
Also dining out.
Then perhaps you might join me for a pipe of tobacco and a pint of ale.
Oh, I'd be more than happy, Charles. Mr. Blewett, by the way, is dining out with Mr. Dawkins.
Ah, the newly arrived gentleman who plays the flute.
Indeed. It's not a pretty sound.
All the same, I shall be interested to learn what you've discovered about Mr. Dawkins.
I've had the opportunity to talk to his manservant.
Oh, yeah. Is he a Charles or a James?
He's a James, Charles.
Till this evening, then, James.
I look forward to it, Charles.
Now, you may have wondered how my master, Captain Rook, made his living, not being a man of independent means. Also, inexplicably, the Duke of Wellington had failed to provide the captain with a pension for all the excellent military advice he'd given him. The fact is that the captain played cards. This was not a harmless pastime. It was his living. I believe the term is card sharp.
So, Charles, what have you discovered about the gentleman opposite who plays the flute so industriously and so appallingly?
That's Mr. Dawkins, sir.
And what do we know about Mr. Dawkins, Charles?
Well, according to his man James, he's just left the University of Oxford, and he has a pretty little fortune of his own in stocks.
A pretty little fortune being...
6,000 a year, sir. His late father was a cheesemonger who must have sold an awful lot of cheese.
So he's already inherited?
He's just come of age.
And where does Mr. Blewett fit into this, Charles?
Well, he met Mr. Dawkins in some hostelry or other and told him about the lodgings to rent here, which Mr. Dawkins liked the sound of. Seems like Mr. Blewett has now taken the young man's welfare very much to heart. Hardly seems to want to let him out of his sight.
So Mr. Blewett is very attentive?
Oh, very attentive, sir.
Rather a common fellow, Blewett, I've always thought. Always swearing and singing and slapping people on the back.
With due respect, sir, I don't believe he speaks highly of you.
But I know he's a racing man and a betting man, and he's a younger son with expensive, if vulgar tastes. So I come to several conclusions, Charles.
Which are, sir?
In primis, any man who plays the flute is a simpleton.
Agreed, sir.
Secondly, Mr. Blewett is a rascal.
Without doubt, sir.
Thirdly, when a rascal and a simpleton are always together, and when the simpleton is rich, one knows pretty well what will come of it. Which leads me to my fourth and final conclusion.
I think I can guess, sir.
I want a part of Mr. Dawkins. And if I have to be polite to Mr. Blewett to achieve that, that is what I shall do.
If you are shocked by the foregoing edifying conversation, genteel reader, then I can only apologise. This is the world as I have experienced it, and the fact is that it's every man for himself.
Charles?
Hey.
This'll amuse you. Mr. Blewett's wine merchant bills. 200 of yours.
Well, that's nothing, James. My master, being a more fashionable man, owes a great deal more money. Look. Servants usually know as much about our masters as they do themselves. There wasn't a paper or a bill or a note or a memorandum in the captain's desk or drawer that I hadn't read. And Mr. Blewett's James was the same. We had the keys to all the cupboards, and we had the best pickings out of the dinners.
Last night, it was fowl's livers and the force meatballs out of the soup. They were so good.
You may call it robbery, but it's only our rights. A servant's perquisites is as sacred as the laws of England.
And the sweetmeats that came after were delicious. I gave some of them to Becky.
Becky? The girl who cleans the steps?
That's the one. You know her?
Well, a little. You?
A little.
But enough of preliminaries. It's time for my narrative to return like a mighty river to its principal course. For the captain was as good as his word, and what an expert he was when it came to cajoling and flattering for his own purposes.
Why, Mr. Blewett, good morning. It's an age since we met.
Indeed, I was just...
What a shame that near neighbours should see each other so seldom.
Well, Captain, it has been a long time.
Not, I think, since we dined at Sir George Hook's, eh? What wine, what capital song.
Yes, but at the moment
I particularly recollect your Mayday in the Morning. Damn me, the best comic song I ever heard.
You exaggerate, Captain.
No, I mean it. I was speaking to the Duke of Doncaster about it only yesterday.
The Duke of Doncaster?
Well, just so, well, you know the Duke, I think.
No, I don't.
What? Not know him? Why, hang it, Blewett, he knows you as every sporting man in England does, I should think. Why, man, your good things are in everybody's mouth at Newmarket.
I rather doubt it.
No, I must introduce you to the Duke.
Etc., etc., as writers don't often say, but should. Even Mr. Blewett couldn't resist so much flattery, and he ended up accepting an invitation to the captain's chambers for a cigar, even though the captain hated cigars and had laid them in special.
Capital cigars, Captain.
I'm glad you like them.
Very neighbourly of you.
Well, that's my thought exactly. We should all be neighbourly. I mean, this young gentleman who's moved in opposite, Dawkins, I believe is his name.
So I've heard.
Well, I gather he's a friend of yours. And so, just as I'm glad to make your better acquaintance, I would also be glad to make the better acquaintance of any friend of yours.
I think you believe I know this Mr. Dawkins better than I do. He's a cheesemonger's son, so I've heard. So, though I've exchanged visits with him, I don't intend to continue the acquaintance.
I'm surprised to hear it. I was under the impression...
Oh, no, I've no intention of associating with that kind of people. This really is an excellent cigar.
How dare he tell such a barefaced lie! A vulgar rogue!
After Mr. Blewett's departure, my master was not in the best of tempers, not least because smoking the cigar had made him go yellow in the face.
The cursed swindling boor! He thinks he'll ruin this poor cheesemonger on his own, does he? I'll soon put a stop to that.
I could barely stop myself laughing when he talked in this style. I knew very well what his putting a stop to it meant. Locking the stable door, but stealing the horse first.
I'll show him. I'll make the acquaintance of Mr. Dawkins, whether he likes it or not.
The next day, his strategy for becoming acquainted with Mr. Dawkins was executed, and very pretty it was. Now, apart from poetry and the flute, Mr. Dawkins was very fond of good eating and drinking, and would sally out of evenings dining sumptuously and drinking all sorts of wine with his new friend, Mr. Blewett.
I'm sure it would make keys here somewhere. Oh. Here we are.
Well, anybody who eats and drinks too much overnight wants a bottle of soda water and a grill perhaps in the morning. And so, regular at 12 o'clock, the waiter from Dick's Coffee House was to be seen on our staircase, bringing up Mr. D's hot breakfast. So what does the captain do the next day? Just as the waiter with the breakfast is coming up, Captain Rook is going down, humming an opera tune and twisting round his head his heavy gold-headed cane. By a most unlucky accident, he struck his cane against the waiter's tray, and away went Mr. Dawkins' grill. Cayenne, ketchup, soda water and all.
You clumsy oaf, look where you're going.
I'm sorry, sir, but...
Are you implying this is my fault?
No.
That is Mr. Dawkins' breakfast, is it not, lying there on the stairs?
Yes, it is, sir.
Clear up and get out! I think you've caused enough damage for one morning.
Here you are, sir.
Excellent.
For now comes the cunning part. He sends me out to Mr. Morel's in Piccadilly for what's called a Strasbourg pie, or pâté de foie gras, as the French call it. Then he takes a card and nails it onto the outside case, and he writes on it,
"To Captain Rook, with the Duke of Wellington's compliments."
And then, as if I didn't know his game, he says,
"You know, Charles, I'm desolate that that unlucky accident caused Mr. Dawkins to lose his breakfast. A thought strikes me. Why don't I send him this pie by way of apology?"
Oh, I'd say that was a very happy inspiration, sir. How lucky I'd gone out and bought this here pie so recent.
That's enough from you, Charles. I'll write the note straight away, and then you'll take the pie and the note to Mr. Dawkins.
Very good, sir.
Oh, and Charles?
Yes, sir?
Listen, you scoundrel. If you say where you got the pie from, I'll break every bone in your body.
Beg pardon, sir. I thought it was a present from the Duke of Wellington.
Precisely. But no need to mention the fact. Mr. Dawkins can read the label for himself. Now, the note.
Now, promises regarding violence to my body if I disobeyed were among the very few promises I ever knew him to keep. But I still took down a copy of his note, which was very elegant, in order that I might demonstrate to Becky how the beau monde expressed itself.
Are you ready, Becky?
I am, Master Charles.
I can see. The steps is spotless as ever. So, here we go. Now, despite my master's faults, this is elegance, Becky. This is style.
I don't doubt it, Master Charles. But you see,
Becky,
I've already...
This will be edifying to you. Captain Rook presents his compliments to Mr. Dawkins and begs at the same time to offer his most sincere apologies and regrets for the accident which has just taken place. If Mr. Dawkins will do him the favour to partake of the contents of the accompanying case, perhaps he will find it is not a bad substitute for the plaque which the captain's awkwardness destroyed. And now, the peroration, as they say. It will be no small gratification to the original donor when he learns it has fallen into the hands of so celebrated a bon vivant as Mr. Dawkins. Yeah? Oh, you don't seem that impressed, Becky.
No, Master Charles. It is very fine. It's just that I've heard it before.
Oh?
Master James read it to me.
Would that be Mr. Blewett's James?
No, Mr. Dawkins' James. He also read me Mr. Dawkins' reply. Something about the captain's magnificent politeness.
Becky?
Yes, Master Charles?
Oh, do you have many admirers?
It depends what you mean by an admirer.
This pie is delicious.
I'm glad you like it, Mr. Dawkins.
I would expect no less from a man of the Duke's taste.
Of course, Captain Rook was only too happy to accept an invitation to join Mr. Dawkins and help him eat the pie. He had, of course, other matters too on his bill of fare.
This is exquisite wine.
I'm so glad you like it, Captain Rook.
Indeed, your whole apartment speaks of a cultured eye and refined taste.
You really think so? You're not just saying that?
Not at all. And when it comes to your flute playing, well, words simply fail me.
It doesn't annoy you?
It is an experience like no other.
You're very kind.
Might I inquire, do you like to play cards?
Yes, I do. In a modest way, of course. Mr. Blewett and I sometimes play. He's teaching me the finer points of card handling.
I'm sure he is. Perhaps I can join you one evening.
That would be delightful.
Dawkins, my old buck, how are you? What the devil? What's going on?
I don't know if you've met Captain Rook. He plays cards too.
Oh, Mr. Blewett and I know each other pretty well. Pray, sit down. We're sharing a most delicious pie.
So Blewett sat, and it was a question of who should sit the other out. But Mr. Blewett was no match for my master. He was fidgety and sulky, while the captain remained charming. Finally, Mr. Blewett could stand it no longer.
If you'll excuse me, Dawkins, my duty's call.
Oh, so soon?
Another time. Your servant, Captain.
No, Mr. Blewett, I'll accompany you. But I think we need to have a word. Mr. Dawkins, this has been delightful. I look forward to returning the compliment soon, with perhaps a pleasant game of cards.
I would like that very much. Goodbye, gentlemen.
Well, no sooner were they outside than the captain takes Mr. Blewett by the arm and leads him into his own chambers for a tete-a-tete, as they say in France.
Blewett, I think we need to come to an understanding. I intend to introduce Mr. Dawkins to the Duke of Doncaster.
Plague on your Duke of Doncaster! You think I don't know you? Every man knows you and your line of country. Yes, you're after young Dawkins there and think to pluck him, but you shan't know, by you. Shan't you?
To spare the sensibilities of my audience, I've decided to omit several of the words used by Mr. Blewett upon this occasion.
If you attempt to hector with me, I will cane you. If you want more, I'll shoot you. If you attempt to meddle between me and Dawkins, I will do both.
I protest!
Protest away. I know what you're up to. So far it's been softly. You win a few pounds, he wins a few pounds. But you intend to rob this lad of everything he has.
Son of a... You can...
Now listen to this. If you keep quiet, I'm prepared to give you half of this fellow's
But
money. However, if from now on you venture to win a shilling from him in my absence, or without my consent, you do so at your peril.
This is very hard, and I must say, not very fair. The game was of my starting, and you have no right to interfere with my friend.
Blewett, you're a fool. You professed but yesterday not to know this man, and I was obliged to find him out for myself. I should like to know by what law of honour I am bound to give him up to you. Either agree to go halves, or be prepared to take the consequences.
It was very charming to hear this pair talking about honour. I declare that I could have found it in my heart to warn young Dawkins of the precious way in which these chaps were going to serve him. But if they didn't know what honour was, I did. In all my career, never did I tell tales about my masters, when in their service. Out, of course, the obligation is no longer binding. The next day there was a grand dinner in Mr. Dawkins's chambers, food and drink supplied by my master, a man never generous without a purpose.
I don't think I've ever seen so much food.
Well, they'll be dirtying that step of yours.
Oh, I reckon it's worth it. We'll all dine royally on what's left over, or it doesn't make its way upstairs.
Nah.
There's grouse, I hear.
Oh, who told you that?
James, and soup, and turbot, and lobster, and a saddle of lamb. And then to drink, wines, champagne, hock, Madeira, a bottle of port, and ever so many of claret.
I didn't know you drank, Becky.
Oh, only in moderation, in company.
And what company would that be?
Oh, look, here come some more waiters.
Well, there were 3 gentlemen present as I waited upon them, and there are no prizes for guessing their names. After dinner, and perhaps 8 bottles of wine between the 3, the gentlemen sat down to écarté. It's a game where only 2 plays, and where, of course, if there's 3, 1 looks on. First, they played crown points and a pound a bet. At this game, they were wonderful equal. So when I served supper, more champagne, grilled ham and devil biscuits, the play stood thus.
Mr. Dawkins has won £2, Mr. Blewett 30 shillings, and I have lost £3 10 shillings. Oh, Dame Fortune is clearly not on my side.
The play was now a little higher. Mr. Blewett stood down, betting on Mr. Dawkins' play and giving him the most excellent advice. After this session, as it was late, Master was counting up the score on a card.
Oh, dear me, I have been unlucky. Blewett, I owe you, let me see, yes, £5 and £40.
And no mistake.
Let me write you a cheque.
Oh, no, there's no hurry.
Nor was there, seeing that the captain's cheque was not worth the paper it was writ upon.
And now I've got to settle with you, my dear Mr. Dawkins. Voyeur, 50 points at a guinea. That's easy to calculate. Here are 50 gold guineas.
The captain was confident, you see, so he was even laying out ready money to prepare the way.
Captain Rook, you are a gentleman. It is a pleasure to be playing with you.
And you, let me say, and I've had some little experience, are the very best écarté player with whom I have ever sat down.
Lord Captain, I think you flatter me. I'm sure it's just a matter of a run of good luck.
Not at all. Mind you, Dawkins, I must have my revenge, for I'm ruined, positively ruined, by your luck.
Perhaps another time, eh, Dawkins? I think we've all had a great deal to drink. Mind you, when one has a lucky streak...
So, do you think we should continue?
The choice is, of course, yours.
Well, generally in these cases, one of two things happens. Either the pigeon agrees to come back another night and get plucked, or he decides to stay put and gets plucked right away. Mr. Dawkins settled for the latter.
Well, gentlemen, let's see if my luck will hold. I'm fascinated to find out if it will.
After serving supper, I left Mr. Dawkins to his fate and fell asleep. I was awakened by my master returning.
Come in.
You all right, sir?
Never better. Here, take this.
The captain actually gave me some silver, so I knew things had gone well. Then he staggered, he danced, he hiccuped, he swore, and finally he sunk down exhausted on his bed. I pulled his boots off and made him comfortable. When I removed his garments, I did what it's the duty of every good servant to do. I emptied his pockets. And I found there the following pretty document.
A cheque for £4,700. Signed Thomas Smith Dawkins. Friday, 16th of January.
There was another bit of paper of the same kind, which read,
I owe you £400. Richard Blewett.
Which I knew meant nothing.
Is your master at home? I'll just see, sir.
Good morning, Blewett. I think we had quite a night of it, eh?
Indeed, you in particular. £4,700, I believe, which makes my share, let me see, 2,350, which I'll thank you to fork out.
But upon my word. What? Mr. Blewett, I don't understand what you mean.
You don't know what I mean? You don't know what I mean? Did you not promise me that we were to go shares? Didn't you swear on your honour as a gentleman to give me half of all that might be won in this affair?
Agreed, agreed.
Well, sir, and now what do you say?
Well, that I don't intend to keep my promise. You infernal fool and ninny. Do you suppose I was labouring for you? Do you fancy I was going to the expense of giving a dinner to that jackass yonder that you should profit by it? Get away, sir. Leave the room, sir. I might give you that £400, but only if you consent to forget all that has passed between us, and that you have ever known Captain Rook.
Oh, you mother...
I've seen people angry on many occasions, but never any like Blewett. He stormed, groaned, bellowed, swore. At last, he began blubbering.
Charles?
Oh, please! Oh, please!
Show the gentleman the door. And now it's time to go to the bank and collect my winnings.
Captain Rook?
Yes, that's me.
You presented this cheque against Mr. Dawkins' account.
Is there anything wrong with it?
No, the cheque is perfectly in order. It's just that Mr. Dawkins emptied his account when the bank opened this morning.
Well, he did what?
He emptied his account. Apparently he's off on a long tour of the continent.
But he owes me money. He's cheated me.
That, I'm afraid, Captain, is a matter you'll have to raise with Mr. Dawkins.
Is anything the matter, sir?
There's nothing there. He emptied the account this morning. Now they don't even know where he is. I've been cheated, robbed. And you know the worst of it, Charles. I actually gave him 50 gold guineas of my own money. And he had the nerve to pocket them. I'm ruined. Ruined.
Realising he'd been bested by a young pigeon, Captain Rook went into a sad decline. I needed to find a new master, and there was more. Mr. Dawkins' James absconded with Becky, so that was the last I saw of her.
The Yellow Plush Papers by William Makepeace Thackeray was adapted for radio by Stephen Wyatt. Charles Yellowplush was played by Adam Buxton. Rook was Stephen Critchlow, and Blewett was Dan Starkey. Dawkins was Inar Mirza, Becky Donla Hughes, James and the waiter Robert Lonsdale, and the clerk Jonathan Taffler. The director was Abigail Le Fleming.
The Memoirs of Charles James Yellowplush, sometime footman in many genteel families. Chapter 3. Mr. Deuceace. My inexorable social rise now continued apace. Soon I found myself body servant to
the Honourable Algernon Percy Deuceace, youngest and fifth son of the Earl of Crabs. Your good health.
The young gentleman was a gentleman and no mistake. He had no income and a great deal of debt. Then one day he got lucky at cards, or claimed it was luck, and made a killing. Now, no honourable gentleman wants to waste good money on paying his creditors when he can use it enjoying himself abroad, which is why soon after I entered the Honourable Mr. Deuceace's service, I found myself tossing about on the Channel, heading for France. As soon as I saw the waves, black and frothy like fresh-drawn porter a-dashing against the ribs of our gallant bark, the Standard of England floating at the masthead, the white rocks of Albany and the bathing machines disappearing in the distance, and the stewards are getting ready the basins, I felt for the first time the might, the majesty of existence, and I said to myself,
Yellowplush, my boy, your life is about to commence. Your career as a man dates from your entrance on this packet boat. Be wise, be manly, be cautious. You're no longer a boy now, but a footman. Throw down your boyish games, throw off your childish habits, and throw...
Here, I recollect, I was obliged to stop. Suffice it to say, I now discovered what basins was made for. Fortunately, my gastric torments eventually came to an end. We landed in Boulogne, and soon we were speeding towards Paris, or Paris, as the French for some reason choose to call it. My master wrote a letter to his beloved father, Lord Crabs, now a widower.
My dear father, I have determined to spend a few months in Paris in order to improve my grasp of French language and culture. And may I therefore take the opportunity to ask you for my quarter's salary? I'm not an expensive man, my dear father, but £50 would vastly add to the comfort of my continental excursion. Heaven bless you, dear father, and all those beloved ones still dwelling under the dear old roof. Ever your affectionate son, Algernon.
To this delightful letter his lordship replied by return of post,
My dear Algernon, we are all charmed by your warm remembrances of us, not having seen you for 7 years. I am sorry, truly sorry, that my account at Coots is so low just now as to render a payment of your allowance for the present impossible. I see by my book that I now owe you 9 quarters, or 450 pounds. Depend on it, dear boy, that they shall be faithfully paid over to you on the first opportunity. I read in the London papers of your recent successes at the gaming table. As you seem now in such high feather, can you, dearest Algernon, lend me 500 pounds?
The old rogue! The damned old rogue!
Fortunately, we were soon in that French capital known as Paris. My master forgot all about his father in the important pursuit of pleasure and advantage. And being personable and aristocratic to those who did not know him better, he soon made the acquaintance of 2 well-born English ladies.
My lady, your servant?
Oh, Mr. Dusace, how delightful.
Miss Griffin?
Dear Mr. Dusace, how too delightful.
Lady Griffin was the widow of Lieutenant General Sir George Griffin, KCB. Miss Matilda Griffin was his daughter by his previous marriage.
Lady Griffin, if I may have the pleasure of the next dance.
Oh, but of course.
It seems so absurd for someone so young to be the stepmother of anybody.
Oh, you flatterer.
Lady Leonora Griffin was 27, fat, fair and vivacious.
But, Mr. Dusace...
Don't worry, Miss Griffin. I very much hope to have the honour of being your partner in the dance after that. Age, you understand, before beauty.
Miss Matilda Griffin was 23. She was dark and my lady was fair. She was sentimental and my lady Leonora was cold. She was, well, there's no way else of saying it, a good deal uglier. My master danced with them, sang hymns with them and rode with them in the Champs-Élysées, which is French for Hyde Park.
Captain Dobbin said, no, it wasn't. It was an elephant.
Oh, Mr. Dusace, you are such a wag.
Underneath you have a glorious soul.
No, ladies, I do believe you flatter me.
It's a long time since I met a man who made me laugh so much, or had such exquisite manners. Oh, look, there is the dear Marquis of Steyne.
Oh, my lord, how are you?
My dear Lady G, as handsome as ever.
Mr. Dusace,
What is it?
my lady is not looking. Pray, take this note.
What is it?
A poem. An outpouring from my heart. Here.
Ah, the dear Marquis, so very, very wicked.
The 2 ladies already hated each other. Now Mr. Dusace was on the scene, they positively detested each other. In their different ways, they were both falling in love with him. Now, though my master was a scoundrel, he was a gentleman, and Miss Matilda came a little too strong with her ardour and attachment for one of his taste. Left to his own devices, the sharp-eyed, pleasure-loving Lady Griffin was the one he would have chosen. There was a spark of genuine attraction between them. But, as he confided to me one evening,
The heart of the matter, Charles, is which of them has the most money?
would have thought that was simple to determine, sir. Here, let me take those.
With an English family, yes. But Sir George was in the East Indian Army, and his will is in Calcutta or somewhere outlandish. So no chance of getting a copy, damn it.
So what is to be done, sir?
We'll keep them both in play till I can strike the best fish of the 2. And there's no question Miss Matilda is hooked.
But then one morning there was an unexpected incident of a sort much beloved by novelists.
What? Algy, my boy. Don't you know me?
What are you doing?
Surely you know your own father.
Well, my lord, of course, but the unexpected pleasure of seeing you and the confounded cigar smoke surrounding you.
As a matter of fact, these cigars of yours are damned bad. Can't you get something better? And here, have some of your port. That isn't quite so bad.
No, I hardly drink or smoke, Father. These are just for guests.
Very wise, very hospitable. You have it all, my boy. Fine rooms, fine horses, fine wine. And all for 200 a year.
I presume you mean the 200 a year which you pay me.
The very sum. Why, that's the wonder. I never pay the 200 a year, and you keep up all this state upon nothing. Give me your secret, my boy, and upon my word I will pay you your 200 a year.
My lord, will you have the goodness to tell me what this visit means? You leave me to starve for all you care. You find me in prosperity.
Precisely, my boy, precisely. Keep your temper and pass that bottle. I find you in prosperity, and a young gentleman of your genius and acquirements asks me why I seek your society, because you are in prosperity, with not one but two wealthy young heiresses in your sight, so I hear. Why else should I bother myself about you?
My lord, I should ask you again.
Let me finish. Have your family ever pretended any love for you, or you for us? You don't need your father to tell you that you are a swindler and a spendthrift. I have paid thousands for debts of yourself and your brothers, and if you pay nobody else, I am determined you shall repay me. You would not do it by fair means when I wrote to you and asked you for a loan of money.
Father,
I knew you wouldn't. And if I'd written to warn you of my coming, you would have given me the slip. And so I come, uninvited, to force you to repay me. Your good health.
My lord, the moment I saw you, I expected something was on foot. Swindler and spendthrift I may be, but I'm merely following my august father's precious example. When you are sober, you will perhaps be wise enough to know, fool as I may be, I am not such a fool as you think me, and that if I have got money, I intend to keep it.
Well, well, my boy, if you will resist, tant pis pour toi. I've no desire to ruin you, and I'm not in the least angry, but I must and will have 1,000 pints. You'd better give me the money at once. It will cost you more if you don't.
Sir, I will be equally candid. I would not give you a farthing to save you from whatever...
Well, it's your decision. If you change your mind, I'm staying with Lord Bobtail, the British ambassador.
Charles.
Yes, sir.
Show his lordship the way out.
Very good, sir. This way, my lord.
Lovely to see you, my boy.
You too, father. Make sure you're wrapped up warm. And mind the steps.
Here we are, my lord.
Thank you, Charles. You seem a bright, promising young lad. Pity you're in the service of someone like my son.
Oh, I'm honoured to be his footman, my lord.
Ah, good reply.
But, of course, if I can ever be of use to my lord his father...
A better reply. You'll go far, my boy.
Sir.
I would not have you think I was being disloyal to my master, but a servant has a living to make, and I could not but think the visit of his pa boded Mr. Deuceace no good. There was mischief afoot, as we soon discovered when visiting the ladies.
Oh, Mr. Deuceace, oh, such excitement. We've just received an invitation from Lady Bobtail at the British Embassy. Look, read it out.
Oh. It is an age since we met. Harassing public duties occupy so much myself and Lord Bobtail that we have scarce time to see our private friends. Will you excuse so very unceremonious an invitation and dine with us at the embassy today? Well,
And do read the next sentence too, Mr. Deuceace.
Yes. We shall have the pleasure of hearing, I hope, some of your charming daughters singing during the evening.
Is that not charming of Lady Bobtail?
Indeed. All the same, I wonder at the suddenness of the invitation. I fear she's done it simply to fill up two unexpectedly empty places at her table.
Nonsense. It was brought in the ambassador's own coach and sealed with his seal of arms.
Well, I warn you, the food will be very poor if you do go there.
But you've always been promising to get us invited.
Yes, that's true, Matilda. Ah, for once we agree. And now we've a chance to go without any help from you. In fact, I've already sent my footman with an acceptance.
For indeed, they knew too few lords ever to refuse an invitation from any of them. People in the middling rank of life are like that. So my master, suspecting his father's handiwork in this invitation, was left to his own devices for the evening. But to give him credit, he did not waste the time.
Damn it, Charles. I spent the entire evening taking tea with that damned old companion of my lady's, Miss Kixie. Of course, the old thing was delighted by the attention, but the tea nearly killed me.
And might I inquire why you were taking tea with Miss Kixie, sir?
Are you playing the fool deliberately, Charles? I had to find out from her all she knows about the family money matters. I need to settle at once on which of the two Griffins I should marry before my father wreaks more damn mischief.
And what, if I might be so bold, sir, did you discover?
Everything she knows. Which is not that much. It was 9,000 a year, she heard say, in money, in houses, in banks in India and whatnot. Both ladies signed papers for selling or buying, and the money seemed equally divided between them. Oh, just think, Charles. I could next morning, if I liked, be master of 5,000 per annum.
Oh, congratulations, sir.
The snag is, which has the bulk of the money, the mother or the daughter? Damn pity I can't marry both.
Ah, dear Algernon.
Yes, Matilda.
As you see, Lady Griffin is busy with letters from London from nasty lawyers and people.
I am.
Really?
So come and sit by me at the piano, you naughty man, you.
Willingly, my dear Miss Griffin. Why, I must declare it's quite a tete-a-tete. So, how was your evening at the embassy? I warned you it might be dull.
Oh, no, it was delightful. And we met a friend of yours at the embassy.
Would that by any chance be my father?
Oh, yes. What a dear, delightful old man. And how he loves you, Mr. Deuceace.
Oh, amazingly.
He spoke of nothing but you, and such praises of you. He spoke of you being his favourite child, and regretted that you were not his eldest son. I can leave him nothing but the small portion of a younger brother, he said. But never mind. He has talents and a noble name, and seems to have funds of his own.
Oh, yes, indeed, a sufficiency, my dear Miss Griffin, to a man of my moderate habits and ample provision.
Mr. Deuceace?
Yes, my lady?
I believe you're talking about money matters there. I wish you would come to the aid of poor me. Come over here, naughty boy, and help me out with this long, long sum.
Oh, with pleasure, my lady.
My eye, how his eyes shone as he skipped across the room and seated himself by my lady, for she was surrounded by great piles of papers, bankers' books and lawyers' letters and whatnot.
Look, my agents write me over that they have received a remittance of 7,200 rupees at 2 shillings and 9 pence a rupee. Do tell me what that sum is in pounds and shillings.
£990.
Oh, good heavens, how quick you are. I dare say you're right. I'm sure I can't go through the fatigue to see. But here's another question. Whose money is this? Mine or Matilda's? According to the terms of poor Sir George's will, I really don't know how to dispose of the money except to spend it. Matilda, what shall we do?
You know I leave these matters to you, my lady.
Well then, Algernon, you tell me, please.
Well, the problem is, I don't know how Sir George left his money. You must let me see the will first.
Oh, willingly.
Master's chair seemed suddenly to have got springs in the cushion. He was obliged to hold himself down. If he hadn't been so excited, he'd have seen Lady Griffin looking at him with quite a cold eye as he stared greedily at the paper.
It's only a copy taken by my hand from Sir George's own manuscript. Soldiers, you know, do not employ lawyers much.
Yes, of course. So,
this was written on the night before going into action.
I quite understand.
Perhaps it's easiest if you see it for yourself.
Yes, thank you. I, George Griffin, the whole of my property in trust for my wife Leonora, and my only legitimate child, Matilda Griffin. The interest to be paid to them share and share alike.
Well, that's clear. Shall I take it back?
No. The principal to remain untouched until the death of my wife Leonora, when it shall be paid to my daughter Matilda Griffin, her heirs, executive...
There. I don't think we need to read any more. The rest is stuff. But now you know the whole business. Tell us, what is to be done with this money?
Why, the money unquestionably should be divided between you.
Well, if you say so. And here's me thinking it should all be Matilda's. Oh, thank you, dear Algernon. Mr. Doucet?
There was a pause for a minute or two after my master had read the will. He left the desk and paced up and down the room for a while. He was unusually silent, but I knew what he was a-thinking. In the end, Miss Matilda, who was the younger, though the uglier, gets it all. And there was nothing my lady could do about that. Finally, he spoke.
I'm almost sorry, my dear Lady Griffin, that you have let me read that will.
Well,
For an attachment such as I feel must seem, I fear, mercenary, when the object of it is so greatly favoured by worldly fortune.
yes?
Yes?
Miss Griffin, Matilda,
Algernon?
I know I may say the word. Your dear eyes grant me the permission. I need not tell you, or you, dear mother-in-law.
I beg your pardon.
Dear Matilda, stepmother, I'm sorry. Anyway, dear Matilda, my tender, beautiful Matilda.
Dearest Algernon.
I do not need to tell you how long, how fondly I have adored you. Speak it, dear girl, from your own sweet lips, in the presence of an affectionate parent. Utter the sentence which is to seal my happiness for life. Matilda, dearest Matilda, say, oh, say you love me.
I do. Oh! He was right. Crabs was right. Oh!
Many of you may be impressed by the eloquence of Mr. Doucet in these circumstances, but I had seen round his chambers for several weeks a version of this speech with Leonora given as an alternative.
Dearest Algernon.
Dearest Matilda.
Now, if I was one of those fashionable romantic authors, this would be the end of my tale. But life, from my observation, only very rarely resembles fiction. The Earl of Crabs had opened the eyes of Lady Griffin, and she was now Mr. Doucet's sworn enemy. But perhaps he had not reckoned on the power of love, or gullibility, in Miss Matilda, who seemed determined to marry her Algernon, whatever obstacles were put in her way.
My Algernon, my brave and beautiful, my soul's lord. For a while, Lady Griffin remained adamant and refused to admit you to my presence. But she has softened thanks to the intervention of your noble father. Pray come and see me today, dear Algernon. 1,000 million kisses. Adieu, adieu, adieu.
Don't like the sound of his lordship being around. But there's not a moment to be wasted. I must fly to Matilda. Damn it, Charles, what's that noise?
I'll go and look, sir. It was the French equivalent of the bailiffs. Now, Master had been spending his money like water because he was labouring under a very common mistake. Namely, once he was out of England, he might whistle at all the IOUs he left behind him. But, as we were to discover, if a French gentleman acquires them in any way, then he can pursue the Englishman who has drawn them, even though he should be in France. And somebody, one can only guess Lady Griffin, had set this process in motion.
Well?
Downstairs, there's a bailiff with a couple of gendarmes who are asking for you. You must run for your life.
Bailiffs? I don't, thank heaven, owe a shilling to any man.
It's not a case I'd argue with them just now, sir, for they'll arrest you any moment.
What shall I do? I have to get to Miss Matilda's at once, and
One moment, sir. I have an idea. Quick as lightning, I throws off my livery coat, claps my gold lace hat on Master's head, and makes him put on my livery.
Now, wear livery? Never!
It's that or the debtor's prison, sir.
Oh, very well.
Meanwhile, I wrap myself in his dressing gown and loll back on the sofa. Pray let them in, Charles.
What? Oh, I see.
Monsieur Algernon Percy Dussas?
C'est moi.
Then I arrest you for debt.
D'accord, monsieur. Charles?
What? Oh, yes, sir.
Go and tell the coachman I won't drive today.
What do you mean?
Go out of the door, Charles, and down the stairs, and out of the house to talk to the coachman.
Ah, yes. I see, yes. Yes, very, very good, sir. My lord.
Now, monsieur, I am at your service.
You must come with us to the prison of Saint-Pelagie.
Are you sure?
Of course, Monsieur Dussas.
But pardonnez-moi, I've changed my mind.
I'm not Monsieur Deuceace, I'm Charles James Yellowplush. Voila!
And I pulled open my dressing gown to reveal the plush tights with which my name is permanently associated.
I have been hoaxed. Allez.
I had saved my master, who, if he had any sense, was on his way to Miss Matilda and her fortune as fast as possible. I felt mightily pleased with myself, I can tell you. Then, an hour later, there was another knock.
Ah, there you are, Charles.
My lord,
No, this is an informal visit. I hear you saved my dear son's skin just now.
He was about to be arrested for debt, sir.
So I gathered. I'm afraid Lady Griffin will stop at nothing to get her revenge, so thank you for your noble effort on my son's behalf.
Oh, I'd happily do the same again, my lord.
I've no doubt you would. But it would probably be better if you didn't. If you understand me.
I'm not sure if I do.
There's £50 if you don't.
Well, I feel a great debt of loyalty to my master, my lord.
Very admirable. Then £100 and 10 in advance. I expect that's more money than my son has paid you in wages all the time you've been in his service, am I right?
Yes, my lord.
You're a smart young man, Charles, so no more heroics. I'd be very happy to offer you a place myself, if things go well.
Is there anything else I can do for you, my lord?
Let me know where the wedding's taking place. Goodbye for now, Charles.
You may imagine the torment of loyalty, principle and professional etiquette into which my soul was now plunged. But I held fast to two things. One, my master was a scoundrel. Two, the £10 note in my hand. What lies he told her I can only imagine, but Miss Matilda accepted Mr. Deuceace's marriage proposal, and they were to be married in a church whose address I had communicated elsewhere. So now, as writers say, for the denouement.
Monsieur Algernon Percy Deuceace.
Damn it, man, can't you see I'm about to get married?
I'm sorry, monsieur, but you do not evade us twice. I arrest you for debt.
Algernon, what is this? You promised me.
Yes.
What debts?
All these papers I am holding in my hand, mademoiselle.
But you told me you were rich, Algernon. You are nothing but a common debtor.
No.
All the warnings about you I have been given have proved to be true. You have cruelly deceived me.
My love, my own, listen to me.
I think she's fainted away, sir.
This way, monsieur.
Charles, look after my bride. Tell her to wait for me. Tell her I love her. Tell her...
It was some weeks before Mr. Deuceace managed, by fair means and foul, to get himself out of the debtor's prison. As soon as he could, he hurried as fast as he could to my Lady Griffin's.
Why, Mr. Deuceace?
Where is she? Where is my precious Matilda?
You mean you don't know?
Know what?
She's married.
Married? To whom?
Your father, of course. Behind my back, he had been wooing her, and your arrest for debt gave him a chance to prove that you were worth nothing. Oh, he's an insidious old rogue. I should never have trusted him.
I couldn't agree more. But, my lady, since they are gone, can't we push back time and be as we once were?
What do you mean?
Leonora, you know there's always been a spark of passion between us. Will you marry me?
Marry you? You lying, despicable, two-faced swindler.
Oh, but
Maybe once I thought we might, but not now. Just get out of my house. Go on, get out!
Lady Griffin eventually married an ancient French marquis. Mr. Deuceace was last seen begging in the streets of Brussels. All of this I learned from servants of the former Lady Griffin, now the Marquise de Camembert. For I was already back in England, and in the service of the Earl of Crabs, that fine model of an old English gentleman.
The Yellow Plush Papers by William Makepeace Thackeray was adapted for radio by Stephen Wyatt. Charles Yellowplush was played by Adam Buxton. Deuceace was Chris Pavlo, and Crabs was Trevor Peacock. Lady Griffin was Jill Cardo, Matilda Laura Molyneux, and the bailiff Dan Starkey. The director was Jessica Drum-Gould.
Memoirs of Charles James Yellowplush, sometime footman in many genteel families. Chapter 4. My Novel. I was now footman in service to one of the most distinguished and well-regarded aristocrats in the land, the Duke of Diddlesex. My duties included serving at the legendarily lavish dinners given by the Duke at Diddlesex Castle. These glittering gatherings were attended by all the most eminent in the kingdom. Bishops, lawyers, literary gentlemen, politicians, in short, all those who enjoyed a splendid meal at somebody else's expense. Nor did the Duke forget the needy who lived on the estate. The scraps were always thrown to them the next day, those which hadn't been thrown to the hounds, of course.
Well, that was it. Wellington turned to me with a grin on his face and said, "Napoleon Bonaparte be damned. Just give this dog a bony."
The Duke was an amiable old cove who had a fund of amusing stories he liked to tell. Unfortunately, it wasn't a very large fund, and so most of the guests knew them by heart.
Give a dog a bony, eh? I shall never forget it.
The Duchess was an amiable lady of middle years, though perhaps over-acquainted with the contents of her dressing table.
Charles?
Yes, Your Grace.
Would you be kind enough to replenish my glass?
With pleasure, Your Grace.
Thank you, Charles. You pour so well.
The Duchess sometimes had a greater interest in the calves of a young, upstanding footman like myself than was seemly in a woman of her years. But her admiration is perhaps understandable because, though I say it myself, my calves were very fine and much admired.
Oh, I say, how too funny!
Their eldest son and heir, the Marquis of Doncaster, was a high-spirited young man in his 30s who loved hunting and drinking. Unlike many other aristocratic gentlemen I have encountered, he never cheated at cards. I'd like to say this was because he was a man of principle, but the truth is that he did not have the intelligence.
I don't think I've laughed so much since the last time I laughed this much.
The Duke and Duchess also had a string of not very attractive daughters, all as yet unmarried. As aristocrats go, they were harmless enough. The Duke and Duchess had perhaps only one serious failing. They seemed blind to my obvious suitability for the post of head footman, the then current incumbent being a fat, pompous fool. But I think I should proceed with my tale.
Look, Charles, look what I found.
I should perhaps reveal that I was engaging in a dalliance with one of the chambermaids at Diddlesex Castle. Her name was Mary Ann, as chambermaids are often called.
See here, it's the latest work by Mr. Modicum.
Mary Ann was a dear, sweet girl of a rather over-romantic disposition.
I can't wait to read it.
So, what's this one called, Mary Ann?
Lords and Liveries by Augustus Modicum, author of Dukes and Déjeuners, Hearts and Diamonds, Marchionesses and Milliners. Do you want to hear some of it?
Oh, of course.
Chapter 1.
Mary Ann was educated above her station, and so was a more than passable reader. She also approved of my aspirations to be head footman and helped me with my writing no end.
Are you paying attention, Charles?
Oh, of course I am, yeah. Lords and Liveries, let it be.
Chapter 1. Corbleu. What a lovely creature that was in the Fitz battle-axe box tonight, said one of a group of young dandies who were leaning over the velvet-cushioned balconies of the Coventry Club, smoking their full-flavoured Cubas from Hudson's after the opera.
Yeah, he's been paid to say that, you know.
Who's been paid, Charles?
Oh, Mr. Modicum. Mr. Hudson will have tipped him a handsome sum to mention his cigars near the start of his new book.
Oh, Charles, you're such a cynic.
Yeah, it's working for the aristocracy that does it. I'm sorry, I interrupted, Marianne.
Well, don't do it again. Everybody stared at such an exclamation from the lips of the young Earl of Bagnage, who was never heard to admire anything except the bouquet of a flask of Medoc of Carbonell's best quality.
Carbonell's paid him too.
Or a gout of Mariskin from the cellars of Briggs and Hobson.
So have Briggs and Hobson.
Oh, Charles, be quiet. Sorry. Aliared de Pentonville,
18th Earl of Bagnage, Viscount Paon of Islington, Baron Pancras, King's Cross and a baronet, was, like too many of our men of ton, utterly blasé.
Well, I think you get the general idea. What occurred to me was that although these aristocratic characters of Mr. Modicum's were often a bit bored with life and their amorous adventures were somewhat complicated and unhappy, the reader couldn't but take away the impression that the aristocracy were a fine body of handsome, cultured, witty people, whereas my view of them is somewhat less rosy. Perhaps that comes of not being properly appreciated by them. Still, who was I to take away from Mary Ann's pleasure? And then came the day.
The court of the sovereign and in the salons of the beau monde was such as has seldom been created by the appearance of any other beauty. The men...
Mary Ann, I've something to tell you.
Can't you wait, Charles? The men were raving with love and...
I think you'll be excited by this.
Oh, very well. What is it?
I've had sight of the guest list for next weekend. And guess who's on it?
His Gracious Majesty the King?
Well, you affect indifference, Mary Ann, but I know you will think differently when I tell you Augustus Modicum.
Augustus Modicum is coming here?
This very weekend.
Oh, Charles. How thrilling.
Oh, any event that could earn me kisses like that was clearly not to be sniffed at. The next weekend, the guests arrived in their usual numbers. Mr. Augustus Modicum, a solitary and slightly anxious gentleman, was not difficult to distinguish.
May I be of assistance, sir?
Thank you. My servant seems to have disappeared. Perhaps you could help me with my luggage.
Oh, with pleasure, sir. Particularly for you, Mr. Modicum.
You recognise me?
Indeed, sir. If you would be so gracious as to stoop so low, I know somebody who would appreciate it very much if you appended your signature to a copy of Lords and Liveries.
Oh, you seem a very literary fellow, James. Or are you a Charles?
I'm a Charles, sir. Now, may I take your luggage?
Thank you. My goodness, you're a very strong young man.
Mr. Modicum, in my opinion, was the sort of gentleman who takes as much interest in the fine calves of an upstanding young footman as the Duchess of Diddlesex herself. Once he settled in, it was clear that Mr. Modicum knew how to behave in the aristocratic society which he had so flatteringly depicted in his many literary effusions. In fact, he might have been said to be something of a social success.
Damn it, Modicum. I can't tell you how glad I am to have you here. Some of you literary fellows haven't the least idea how to conduct yourselves in polite society. But you, well, you do the aristocracy of good old England proud.
Oh, you overwhelm me with your kindness, Your Grace.
No, you deserve it.
My dear Mr. Modicum, there is something I've been meaning to ask you.
Whatever you wish, Your Grace.
Well, I have always fancied that in the beautiful and fascinating Lady Amanda Portcullis in Dukes and Dejanay, you may have perhaps taken a hint from my own character.
I will not deny it, Your Grace.
You're Modicum the writer, aren't you? I think I read one of your books once. I didn't get to the end, but got a damn sight further than I usually do in reading a book. Let me see, what was it called? Something about peers.
Peers and pastry cooks.
That's the one! Damn clever of you to remember what it was called.
However, a certain sort of nemesis awaited Mr. Modicum at the banquet. Being a literary gentleman, he was, of course, very partial to drink, and His Grace the Duke is always remarkably liberal in the dispensation of wine to his guests.
Yes, thank you. That's extraordinarily kind. Charles or James?
Charles, sir.
Oh, yes, of course. You know, Charles, I feel quite overwhelmed by all this. To think that I am sitting here at the table of the Duke of Diddlesex, I, Augustus Modicum, a humble scribe. When I think about it,
steady on.
Unfortunately, at this moment, Mr. Modicum slid from his chair onto the floor, accompanied by a certain quantity of one of the Duke's more exclusive dinner services. Upon instructions from His Grace, I discreetly raised Mr. Modicum from the floor and supported him from the dining room up the stairs to his bedchamber.
We're nearly there.
I made a complete fool of myself, Charles. You're very kind to take care of me.
I wouldn't worry, sir. You're not the first gentleman to slide off his seat at the Duke's table, and I don't expect you'll be the last.
Such a powerfully built young man.
Right, here's your bedchamber, sir. There you are, sir. Now you'll feel much better if you lie down.
Can I confide something to you, Charles?
If you wish, sir.
I hate them. I hate them all. Every single one of those confounded aristocrats. They're stupid. They're dull. They spend money like water. They indulge in sexual dalliance like rabbits. And what for? What's the point of them?
Now, sir, with due respect, these seem to be rather radical, not to say revolutionary statements.
I don't care. Please. Oh, sorry. Shall I tell you something else, Charles? You know what I'd really like to do? I'd like to write a novel which showed them up for what they really are. Of course I won't. I'm too scared. But the first man who does will make a fortune. An absolute fortune.
It was as if someone had ignited a candle within my brain. The next morning after the guests had departed, I could not wait for a spare moment to talk to Mary Ann.
Mary Ann, I have something for you.
For me?
Here, look inside.
To Mary Ann? From Augustus Modicum. Oh, Charles, thank you. Oh.
Fact is, I had a very interesting conversation with Mr. Modicum, and he said something which had a great impact upon me.
Some philosophical words of wisdom.
No, not quite. Mary Ann, you know more of grammar and spelling than I ever will. Will you help me?
Help you do what, Charles?
Write a novel.
Write a novel? But servants don't write novels.
Well, this one intends to.
But what will it be about?
What I know about.
What do you know about, Charles?
Masters and servants. It was morning at Fuddlesex Towers. The Duke was, as was his wont, when he got up, in a foul temper and swearing.
Got up in a foul temper and swearing like a trooper. The Duchess was a lady of advanced years. I think that should be years, Charles.
Oh, of course. Pray, make a mark there, Mary Ann, to remind me.
The Duchess was a lady of advanced years who spent most of her time longing on a sofa. Longing?
Yeah, I meant lounging. Isn't that how you spell it? Make another mark.
Lounging on a sofa. The only occasion on which her interest was aroused was when a young footman went by and she caught a glimpse of his shapely calves and manly thighs. Oh, Charles, you can't say that.
Well, is there a grammatical error then?
No, but...
No, well, why can't I say it?
Because it's not respectful. You're making your Duchess sound just like our mistress.
So? You know it's true.
Well, yes, of course, but that's not how Duchesses are supposed to behave.
I think that is my point, Mary Ann. At night, in the gaming dens of London, debauched young men gathered to throw away fortunes on the throw of a card. And other debaucheries of a dark kind, not to be described in a polite work of fiction, also took place. I laboured in my few leisure hours for a number of months at my novel, which I entitled Aristocrats Behaving Badly. I had no idea what hard work it would be, but I always bore in mind the words of Mr. Modicum. I was writing a novel to show them as they really are.
And so dusk fell on the debauched denizens of Fuddlesex Towers, and our tale is over. Finish.
Finis?
Well, that's not an English word.
No, but it is more genteel. Well, what do you think?
Oh, Charles, it's wonderful. But? It can never be published. Won't some readers recognise the Duke and Duchess as our Duke and Duchess?
Indeed. I've written what I believe is known as a roman à clé. That is, there's a key to who everybody is in real life.
Such devices are very popular, or so I've heard.
So you're determined to go ahead?
As soon as my monthly day off comes round, I'm off to London to see a publisher, Mr. Scavenger. He who publishes the works of Mr. Modicum. Carrying my manuscript wrapped discreetly in stout brown paper, I arrived in the streets of London to visit the offices of Mr. Scavenger. Inspired by the lordly titles of his many publications, I had imagined him to be lodged in a fine mansion somewhere in the city. Instead, he occupied a cramped and sordid office in the squalor of Soho.
So you've brought me a manuscript, have you? More paper to gather dust in this confounded prison of a room.
It's very good of you to see me, Mr. Scavenger.
Only because you walked in and wouldn't take no for an answer. What is it about authors that makes them believe they have the right to bombard publishers with their damned writings? Take a look around you, Mr.
Just for now, I wish to remain anonymous.
Well, Mr. Anonymous, take a look around and what do you see?
A great deal of paper, sir?
Gathering a great deal of dust. Here I have interminable epics written by lady poetesses in verse that is not merely blank but non-existent. I have tragedies so interminably long that you lose the will to live simply trying to read them to the end. I have...
Yeah, but you also publish novels.
Well, yes, and some of them even make money. But look again. Here are historical novels stuffed to bursting with meaningless fustian. Here are Gothic novels which wouldn't frighten a baby mouse, and comic novels which are so unfunny you want to go and slit your wrists. Here...
But you also publish novels of high society.
Yes, and here I have shelved...
Including the works of Mr. Augustus Modicum.
Well, that's true.
Well, this is a novel of high society.
Oh, very well, let's take a look. Aristocrats behaving badly? What is this?
Yeah, perhaps if you just sample the first few pages.
Just a moment. What, this can't be. What? Well, it says here that... Surely not. Come back in an hour and I'll give you my verdict.
I paced the streets of London, and believe me, that was one of the longest hours of my life. But finally, I returned to Mr. Scavenger's office for the verdict. I feared the worst.
Pray be seated, Mr. Anonymous. I have now completed my perusal of your manuscript. The spelling is atrocious, the grammar is at times non-existent, the stiltedness of some of the dialogue beggars belief, the crude portraits of living nobility only just escape being criminally libelous, the plot, if I can call it that, creaks with the cumbersomeness of a badly oiled wagon wheel. What else can I say except that I'm willing to publish it?
You are?
If you give me 5 guineas, I'm willing to take on the onerous task of getting it into print.
Well, I don't think I want to do that.
Well, I suppose I could publish it for you at a somewhat lower price, say 2.5 guineas.
Nah, I'm sorry. I was expecting you to pay me.
You were?
Yeah. Look, I haven't put all this effort in to go away out of pocket. I know some literary gentlemen like to starve in garrets, but I am not one of them. If that's your last word, goodbye, Mr. Scavenger. At that moment, it seemed as if my dream was about to end in rejection. But as I started to open the office door to leave, I noticed a look in Mr. Scavenger's eyes.
Oh, no. Very well. I am prepared to pay you 1 guinea as some compensation for the time you've spent.
It was then I realised he really wanted it. 10 guineas.
10 guineas? For a first-time author?
It's not that I'm a first-time author that matters, is it? It's what I have to say.
You appeal to my sense of charity and love of literature. 2 guineas.
6 guineas.
5.
Done.
I'm a fool of myself, and I'll draw up the contract and then...
Yeah, what about the second edition and subsequent editions?
What about them?
Well, don't I get more money if there's more than one edition?
What an extraordinary idea.
All right, well, if you don't want to...
No, wait, no. I'm sure we can come to some accommodation. 5 guineas more for a second edition.
And for a third and subsequent, 10 guineas.
Oh, very well. But we'll be lucky to sell 50 copies. Right, now, you wish, I gather, to remain anonymous?
Is that a difficulty?
Not at all. We shall say written by a gentleman, or possibly written by one who knows. There remains, however, the question of the title.
What, you don't like aristocrats behaving badly?
I need something that tempts with promises of nobility linked to scandal. Ermines and evil, castles and crime, something like that. I have it! Nobility and scandal in one succinct phrase. The besmirched escutcheon.
The besmirched escutcheon? Is that a good title?
Remember, in the end, a good title is simply the title of any book which sells a great number of copies.
I returned home with my contract from Mr. Scavenger and awaited my literary debut. Having watched the improvident ways of the aristocracy, my 5 guineas I saved, apart from some flowers, to Mary Ann for her assistance. I told her I would have dedicated the book to her if I could, but that would be giving the game away. And then the day came.
Oh, Charles, is that them?
Yes, Mary Ann, these are the reviews, which I've managed to successfully secrete into the castle without being observed.
Oh, are they good?
Judge for yourself. Here is Blackwood's magazine.
The Besmirched Scutcheon is a truly remarkable production. Remarkably bad in many ways, but with a certain gruesome fascination when one considers the notable similarities between certain of the characters and certain well-known members of the aristocracy.
The Gentleman's Monthly.
I will spare my readers the details of the disgusting allegations which this novel contains, as I trust to their good taste not to want to know them. Oh, Charles, this is terrible. After all your hard work. Oh, I'm so sorry.
I don't think you need to be, Mary Ann. I think this means the book is going to be a success.
And indeed, though I do not wish to boast, my predictions were accurate. The first edition sold out within a week, and Mr. Scavenger had to produce a second and third editions and pay me accordingly, which I think grieved him despite the money he was making. But there was one matter which still impended. What would happen when the book came to the attention of my master and mistress?
Whatever is the matter, William?
This damned book, The Besmirched Escutcheon. Now I know why all the fellows at the club were sniggering behind my back.
I don't understand.
Damn it, Gwendolen, you're supposed to be the reader.
I had the impression that this was not a novel which a genteel person should peruse.
You're right there, but unfortunately not everybody is genteel.
But I don't understand. What is this novel about?
Us, Gwendolen! Us!
I fear you are right, William. What is Fuddlesex Towers, if not Diddlesix Castle?
And who is the Duke who always tells a story about giving a dog a bony if it is not me?
And, though I reject the imputation, this Duchess of Fuddlesex, who seeks to deny her age, could be regarded as a portrait of me.
You haven't mentioned the way she eyes the young footman, just like you.
And I don't think you should mention it either if you're a gentleman. And in return, I promise not to refer to what happens when you are in town and staying at your club.
They're saying our son is little short of an idiot.
And our daughter's a little short of trollops. William, this author should be horsewhipped.
His name is not given.
Then the publisher, Mr. Scavenger.
But there is a difficulty, Gwendolen. If I horsewhip Mr. Scavenger, then that's as good as admitting the family in this book is our family. A fact we shall always strenuously deny.
It pains me to say it, William, but you are right. But the individual who has perpetrated this outrage must be uncovered and punished in some way. Because, I regret to admit this, it is clearly someone who knows us very, very well.
You can imagine my apprehension at hearing these words spoken by the Duchess. And indeed, a very thorough examination of who might be guilty took place. Lists of weekend guests were carefully scrutinised and questions asked. Finally, even the servants were summoned and interrogated. I realised that if my authorship was discovered, it would be the end of my dream of ever becoming head footman anywhere.
Oh, Charles, do be careful.
I intend to be. But why?
Because some of the other servants have been telling His Grace that they've seen you, pen in hand, writing upon sheets of paper. His Grace doesn't consider that natural behaviour in a servant.
Oh, I'll tell him I've been writing letters to my ailing widowed mother.
But you don't have one.
Yeah, he won't know that. Will he?
What about all your trips to London?
I'll think of something.
Oh, Charles.
No, I have to go. I can't keep His Grace waiting.
Oh, good luck.
Well, you can imagine the state of apprehension in which I entered the room. And there was the Duke, looking as grim as could be.
Come in, Charles.
Yes, Your Grace.
Now, Charles, this has been a lengthy investigation, but I think I now know who the ingrate is who is responsible for this novel.
Do you, Your Grace?
And there's no point in looking sheepish. You know too.
Do I, Your Grace?
Come, don't play the fool with me. The answer is obvious.
Is it? I really don't know, Your Grace.
Shall I tell you then?
If you please, Your Grace.
Mr. Modicum.
Mr. Modicum?
The novel is published by his publisher, after all. Charles, you attended him during his disgraceful collapse at the dinner table. You must conceal nothing. You must remove my final doubt. Did he say anything that would lead you to believe he is responsible for this ungentlemanly betrayal of my hospitality?
Now I think of it, he said he'd like to write a novel which showed the aristocracy up for what they really were.
Thank you, Charles!
And that was the end of Mr. Modicum's social career, I'm afraid. He published vicious attacks upon the aristocracy after that, but none had the success of the besmirched escutcheon. Maybe he should have just written what he wanted to write while he had the chance. As for me, I stacked my money away. But what happened next is, as we novelists say, another story.
The Yellow Plush Papers by William Makepeace Thackeray was adapted for radio by Stephen Wyatt. Charles Yellowplush was played by Adam Buxton, Mary Ann was Annabel Dowler, and the Duke was Paul Ryder. The Duchess was Janice Aqua, the Marquis Inar Mirza, Modicum Gunnar Cawthry, and Scavenger Stephen Critchlow. The director was Abigail Le Fleming.